Can you hear me from here?
All right, what about now? I think this is better than. All right, what about now? I think this is better. Yeah, much better now. Yeah, much better now. Yeah, much better now. Yeah, much better now. Yo, hello, hello. Let me see where the chat is. What chat? Uh, this is so weird. Hi guys, how's it going? Yo, what's up? Can you hear me well? How about here? Can you hear me well here? Um, The live stream is delayed. It feels so weird. Oh my god. It's like I'm in Inception. Yes, okay. I forgot my AirPods, so I don't know how great the quality of the audio is, but I'll do my best. I just gotta submit these emails and that's it. Send it out with the link. Perfect. Okay. All right. Everybody, the link. So I think it's working. So now I just wait. Oh, the camera's here. I keep looking over there. The camera's right here. Oh my God. Now I just wait. Oh, so cool. I see myself in the past. Cool. So, I'm gonna have the comments here in my phone. So if anybody wants to say something, say hello, it's all anonymous pretty much right now. So just get me your questions in there. Does Instagram let you put links in your profile? I don't even know. Try. I'm about to try right now. Oh, add links. Does Instagram let you put links in your profile? There we go. That's awesome. Yo, what's up, guys? So, record ID or future? Yo, tune on to the stream. Thank you. Yes, right now. I put the link in my Instagram. Good luck. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Yo, quick story. I don't know who's listening, but I came to school, right? Came a little early, trying to get things done, everything like that. And then I hold onto the door, and it's locked. I'm like, okay, let me try the next door. Locked, locked, locked. Everything is locked. I panicked so badly. I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? But luckily, this door it was fine. I got it open, everything like that. I set everything up. So that was that. Let's see if everybody got the link. Yeah, everybody got the link. I would like to play some music, but I don't know if I'll get copyright strike, so I won't. It's on YouTube. YouTube. It's pretty cool. Let's see. It's really fun setting this stuff up, like the computer, the web camera, the one I'm looking at you right now. You, um, I have like an adapter for my computer that I had laying around. I never used it. I was about to throw it away, and then right as I was about to leave for school, I was like, I might need this adapter for this webcam. The webcam is not even mine; it's my friend's. Thank you, my friend. Um, yeah, it's 2:28, so I'll wait like a couple more minutes, of course, before I get started. Everybody coming in. Can I play some games in the meantime? I don't even know. Hello, welcome everybody. Can you guys hear me well? should be good. On OBS, I can even share my screen, which is pretty cool. See, yeah. I don't know, this tech stuff is pretty cool. What's up, Aaron? How are you? Okay, cool. I'm gonna start pretty soon. Just wanna wait a couple minutes, have people in. Welcome, welcome everybody. Let's have a couple more people in, and then I could get started talking about or yapping about finances. Something very interesting to me. Mostly boring for others, but very important. I mean, why the hell do we even work? Why the hell do we even do a lot of the things we do if it wasn't for money? The things we would do not for money. The things we do for money. It's crazy. Anyway, I have 6 people. That's awesome. Hey guys. By the way, I know I didn't make it into a WebEx meeting because I think that's kind of like not cool. I think YouTube is better. So if you guys have an account, you have any questions, um, put them in the comments because I'll be reading it, and not in the comments, in the chat, so that way I can respond to them, anything like that. The one disadvantage is that I can't, since it's a live stream, I can't just add people to the live. I can meet on Discord, but that's not here or there. So, a couple more minutes and I'll start. I'll start at 2:35. Also, please let me know if the quality of the webcam is good. If you guys can see what's saying on the board and everything like that. For me, it looks okay. Okay, gotta get serious now. Right now. Okay, so everything should be good. Okay. All right. You know what? I'm gonna begin now. Welcome everybody. My name is Joseph. Uh, I am interested in personal finance. What is personal finance, right? Well, it's really about you and what you do with your money. Your paychecks, your lottery winnings, your um, money you steal from your friends or family. All that. What do you do with that money, right? Well, I'll tell you a little bit of background about myself. Back in 2020, when we had the lockdown, I finally got GTA Online, and it was really fun. That's not relevant, but in 2020, I was just bored. I was bored at home. All the classes were online. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys had online classes too. If you're in high school, some people, they were in college, and it was a really trying time for everybody. I mean, even though we got all this technology, it's still kind of tough. But something that happened for me was that I was just on Instagram, scrolling through stories, looking at people's stories, whatever, uh, being jealous sometimes. But this one person had this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, and that just opened my eyes to what finance can really be, what money can really do for people. And the basics of what money can do for you is just give you options, right? You hear money doesn't buy happiness, money buys happiness. It does both, right? It's more about what kind of options you have. So, like I said, I started Rich Dad Poor Dad. I was telling my father, hey, look, these are assets, right? These are assets. These are liabilities. If anybody can tell me in chat what an asset is, like give me just an item, right? Give me an idea of what an asset is. Not describing it. Just tell me. Um, and then liabilities as well. Like there's a debate about if a car is an asset or a liability. What about your house? What about food? Right? You go to Taco Bell or something like that. I'm not here to say that, but a lot of it comes down to habits, right? Um, Real quick to just finish. So I read all these books as well. I hope you guys can see them. I'm gonna even. It's like a YouTube video. I can do this. Boom! Look, The Richest Man in Babylon. Great book. It talks about uh, debt, investing, saving money. This book is the best. It's about the millionaire next door. Basically shows you that not what everything you see is real, right? If you see a person driving an expensive Mercedes, you might think, oh, they're rich, they're successful. But you look at somebody with like a 2002 Toyota Corolla, and you're like, oh, that person is poor. Not the case, right? And then your money or your life. This one is where it teaches you about how money can buy you options, right? So I read all these books. I started investing, started saving money, working jobs, and I have a pretty good understanding of how money works and how you can save it and have a future with it, right? I'm not talking about saving every single penny. You can do that if you want. I'm talking more about living a balanced life. So, real quick, what this workshop will have throughout the weeks is first we'll be starting off with habits. Then we'll be talking about income, spending, and debt, which I'm going to dive deep into each one, like talking about your job, anything like that, what kind of money it makes you, what kind of opportunities you have, what you're spending that money on, and not all debt is bad debt. Um, Certainly if you max out your credit card at the casino and you win big, and you ain't never do it again, that's not a bad. You went into debt, but you did good, right? So this is just a joke. Um, Something very important, managing your money. I think it's become even easier now with all the online tools we have, online banking, and kind of like keeping track of your income because it matters to see where your money is going. And then the most important one on week 4 is going to be about investing, right? And I'm talking about long-term investing. I'm not here to sell a course about get rich quick, buy this crypto, buy this meme coin. No, long-term investing. I'm talking about years and years and years, even for something boring like your retirement. So without further ado, nobody has any questions. I see Aaron. He said something that has value. Yes, an asset can be something that has value. Typically, we mean in personal in like finance, something that gives you a return on investment. So if you put $100 in a certain amount of time frame, you want it to make you more money. So you have like $110. But let me begin with habits, right? Our habits dictate our spending. It dictates the jobs we take. It dictates a lot of our things that we do. And there's that classic example about buying your coffee for $5, every time you go to work. Yeah, you can like spend a lot of money on that, but I'm talking more about like going out every single day to eat. Not really going every weekend out with your boys or your girls, whatever. Trying to impress other people. Those habits tend to be very consuming. You can also have like um, addictions as well, right? That can seek money out of you. I know for a lot of people, smoking is one of them. It's very expensive. Think about it. If you're spending $40 a week on smoking, I don't know how much people spend. This is across like uh, whatever smoking you do. let's say $40 every week for a whole year. That's like 2,000, $2,000, right? Even more probably. So really something to think about with your habits, right? So a lot of what comes to a lot of people who are lucky, or not lucky, successful with finance is their mindset, right? A lot of people might not think optimistically about the economy. They might not think optimistically about their own personal lives, and your life kind of dictates your finances go along with that, right? You know, like if you're living good, if you have optimism, you will typically have better outcomes to get a better job. You have better better strength to say save for a certain thing you want to get. Like me, I want to save money to get a new car. That's just an example. You know, maybe I'll be motivated to do that, and I'll have a habit in place. Like every time I get paid, right? Say I make $1,000. I don't know how well this is gonna come on stream, but I'm gonna try. Right, that's $1,000, right? Say I get that paycheck, okay, and from that $1,000, I decide, okay, I want to save money for my car. So right away, before I even decide, oh, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna, buy all the liquor and invest and whatever, all that. No, I'm gonna take away 200, right? 200 towards my car, towards whatever car I want to save. See, this can be a good habit you can have, especially some habits they're easier to break and some are easier to break or form. So what something's very important is, if you don't have a job yet, if you're just starting out, I'm hoping a lot of you watching, they're your college students, and whatever the job market is right now, it's gonna get better in the future. So eventually, when you get a higher paid job, you want to know what to do with that money, right? You don't want to all of a sudden, you're living on ramen and then you're going out eating sushi every day, because at the end of the day, you're still going to be living at the end of the month paycheck to paycheck. So the earlier you get on to having a good habit with your paycheck, let's say for an example, the better off you will be, right? Now, a lot of our habits are not just formed by us, they're also formed by our community, our family, our culture, right? I'll say something. I'm from Romania. Over there, it's very, very important that you have a nice car. I'm talking about you. It's more important for you to have a nice car than even to have a nice house. You could live in the crappiest house. As long as you have a nice car, that's what matters. Completely, well, I would say completely, but different than here. Here you want to have a house first. Here you want to have that, and then worry about cars. I know America loves car culture, so do I. I hate traffic though, but it depends. Like if I'm hanging out with my friends and they all got Rolls Royces, well then I'm gonna want to have a Rolls Royce too. If all my friends are driving, they don't care about the car. They're just driving like some beat up cars. Maybe I will do the same. It's an influence. But you gotta see what works for you because you're not them. Maybe you don't want to struggle like them. Maybe you're smarter because you tune into this live stream, and you're like, you know what? Ah, I can drive my friends' cars whenever I want. But for me, just to have my own sake and sanity to save my money, think about the long term, I'm just gonna not get one of those crazy cars and try to keep up with them. You know. So let me see. Let me also mention about other stuff. Right? I just gave an example with cars, but what about clothes? What about food that you buy? Right? Maybe in your family there's not that much cooking going on, or you're not home all the time. You tend to just go and spend money on that. Or you can create a habit of cooking at home and building that up to just kind of just have first of all better for your health, right? Cooking at home, but also better for your wallet as well, because I know going to Dave's Hot Chicken every day gets quite expensive, so yeah. Now, how can you learn more about finance? The way I did it was honestly through just YouTube videos. I mean, sure, these books are great. They are really great, actually. But I learned a lot just through browsing YouTube, just learning, just being curious about stuff like that. Yeah, Dave's Hot Chicken. I might go there today actually. We'll see how this day goes. Um, but what was I going to say? Yeah, look into like YouTube videos. That's the best way you can learn about stuff. If you're curious about where you can put your money, YouTube, YouTube, or this workshop as well. Now, I don't have an audience right here physically, right? I only have it on the phone. But let me ask you guys, Graham and Caleb, yeah, they're fire. What's his name? Graham Stephan. I used to watch him a lot before he got like to where he is now. I don't like him. And same with Caleb. I used to love his earlier uh, financial audits where he was telling on people. But a lot of those people, let me mention that about financial audit, right? So financial audit is they have like a guest come in and they talk about their finances, right? About their expensive car payment, about their student loans, debt. Let me talk about that. Your parents influence you to go to whatever school you might be going to, and that could cost you a lot of money. I know it did for me. I go to NJIT, and it costs a lot of money. Okay, I could have went to community college if it was more like um, more of a like strong emphasis on that. You know what I'm trying to say? Hopefully. But yeah, financial audit. Those people they all have different backgrounds, like different people. Some family members of theirs make them sign up for credit cards at 18, and they go into debt, and then they're like 23. They're wondering why they have 15 credit cards, all maxed out, living paycheck to paycheck and using Klarna. So that all stems from the habits you have, from the influences in your life. Um, and something even more important, and I know this affects me a lot, is my emotions, right? How many of you guys have just bought something on impulse? And if you didn't say me, if you're like, oh, that's not me, it is you. Okay. I thought I wasn't that guy. I am that guy. Okay. A lot of us do spend on emotion. It could be something small as like, you know what, I'm feeling down. I'll get this. I'll go to this convenience store and just get a soda. It'll make me happy, right? I'm gonna go to this gas station, fill up my car, and also get like some Twinkies. Uh, I'm feeling bad, so I want to feel myself better. I'm gonna buy this piece of clothing. Those are all emotional because I'll tell you why they're emotional. Because when you move on from that, you will look at it and you will be like, bro, I don't remember why I wanted that thing. I don't even remember why I wanted that piece of clothing. I don't even wear it no more. But in the moment, you felt like you needed it, you wanted to get validated. So that's another way that people sort of spend money, which is okay. All of these are okay, but I just want you to think about how we really spend our money. Today, for example, actually, I'll give you an example when I'm at school, right? So in the morning, I wake up. Depending on the time I wake up, either I can make breakfast, maybe I already have something, maybe I don't. So let's say I don't have anything. I'm thinking, I still have time to make something. I got 30 minutes before I gotta get to school. So I can either cook or I can just go to McDonald's. Now, I love me some McDonald's breakfast. Fire. Fire, just straight fire. But, like sometimes it's not good for you. But that's the thing. Like, I choose to go do that. So because I'm feeling lazy, I'm gonna go to McDonald's. I'm gonna spend $3 to $5, not a big deal, and get that. Then I'm gonna get to school. I'm gonna remember, shoot, I didn't buy a water. Now what am I gonna do? I'm gonna like what? Not starve. Dehydrate? No, I'm gonna buy a water, right? But then am I gonna buy the Fiji water or am I gonna buy like the cheapest one? I'll get something in the middle. Still with me? Okay. Later in the day, that McDonald's meal was good, but I'm hungry. Like I just finished my first lesson. I'm hungry again. I have a 2 hour gap. There's no way I'm gonna do my homework because I'm gonna give that to ChatGPT. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna get something else to eat, and then I'll go to Dave's. Let's say there's no Dave's by my school. I wish there was. If anybody wants to do that, let me know. I want to invest and do that. But anyway, you spend another let's say $12. That's even without a drink. Let's say you get a bevy. You get a bevy, you're gonna spend like $15. So you're there. Look at the end of the day. You come home. You're like, okay, I need to get some toothpaste for myself, whatever. You come home and you spend like $20, which is not bad. But that all could have been avoided if you kind of planned ahead and everything like that. So think about how you're spending your money. That's just like a regular day for me. Like, or I have one of my parents tell me to buy something and I'm just like, oh, great. You know, but a lot of spending does come just from having discipline as well. Like sometimes when I'm working, I work at a retail place, and over there, sometimes you put the stuff on the shelves and you're like, this looks pretty good. This looks pretty good, or you're not even nearby there, but because you worked so hard, you want to reward yourself, or you kind of feel bad, like you had a bad interaction with the customer. So you're like, you know what, I'm gonna get this snack and everything like that. That's another way we spend money, you know. Um, and at some point, these small things they kind of add up. They're like a snowball. Not it's a snowball. What's that thing that you falls down? It is. It's like it builds up. What I'm trying to say, right? You go. It goes down the hill and goes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So then you find yourself spending like $200 every week on just random crap. You don't even remember because you just got used to it. You got used to eating out. You got used to always getting a snack after you did something at work. You're used to getting a drink right after class, you know? Um, and if you don't keep mind of these things, your money's just gonna fly like that, right? Now, I want to talk about some good habits you can put in yourself, right? One of them is when you get paid. When you get paid, you can do X amount of things, you know. Most people, I assume, they just want to spend it, or they don't even have a no, not even that. They don't have a plan with their money. They get their money and they just let it happen, whatever to it, right? Maybe a bill's coming up, maybe their phone plan is coming up, maybe they're going to hang out with their boys in Pocono, so they're gonna just spend the money there. Uh, then they're going to need to actually buy something for school, let's say, and they won't have enough because they spent the money at Poconos, they spent it all. So you want to have a plan for your money. You want to kind of build a discipline. So what I honestly recommend is, yeah, the snowball effect. Thank you, Aaron. What I honestly recommend is, well, I'll give you this example, right? With $1,000. Let's say you get paid $1,000 a week. No, every 2 weeks, right? So $500 a week. Let's say from this you have a plan. Like this is just general. Like, this is the thing. It's personal. So you gotta look into yourself and figure out, okay, how much do I really need to put into each one of these categories? But I recommend. What's up, Drew? How are you? Thank you for the webcam. What I recommend is from this $200 right away. You say this thing called pay yourself first. Now I don't really like that saying, but I don't have another saying. What you do from this money is you automatically allocate some of it to like another account where you kind of just put into savings. So let's just call it a savings account to make it simple, right? So from this, you're gonna have 200 going out to your savings. Then you're looking at how much you typically spend, and we're gonna go into this with later workshops. We're looking to how much do you regularly spend every 2 weeks. For me, let's say for example, I spend about 300, right? So from there, I'm gonna take out 300, right? That's what I'm gonna put aside as kind of like my goal of how much I should spend, right? If I know I'm near that goal, I might not buy a soda. If I'm very far, I will. You gotta treat yourself. But these are just rough estimates, right? So now we're left with 500. Now I have a car payment, right? So right away, that's another bill. I'm thinking about getting another car, but currently my car payment is about for this system every 2 weeks, right? It's about $300, right? So that's another expense, right? Now, we can leave some stuff for miscellaneous, but what I would recommend is to do something like investing, right? So you could put 200 in investing. And the reason I say that is because this way you have a plan for your money. Like you know that $1,000 is coming every 2 weeks, and you know you're gonna need 300 just to live your life. You know you need 300 for your car payment, right? You know you need 200 for savings. Say you want to save for a new car. Say you want to save for college. Very expensive college. If I didn't mention that, and like another 200 for investing. Because the one thing I'm gonna be talking about in the last workshop is about investing and how, depending on how old you are, your opportunities to grow your money are like exponential, right? You see this little line over here? So your line can go like this, right? But it's very slow in the beginning. But over time, the sooner you get into it, the more it's gonna look like that. Okay. So, but most of the things I want to talk about today, you know, um, some things for you to think about, right? Is what do you do with your money? Do you budget? Should you even? Do you even need to? Are you a baller? Are you making 30,000 a month? Do you really need to worry about spending like $5 for a Saratoga water and putting the ice bowl in your face? You really got to worry about how much money you're spending there? Maybe not, but maybe you do. Okay. Think about how your parents are spending money and how they might be enabling you. I know this one's important because in this book right here, The Millionaire Next Door, it talks about how affluent, which means rich parents, treat their children with like unlimited money, and when those parents stop being rich, those kids are gonna be like, "Oh, where's my money? Like, I need money, so now I gotta get a job." And they're not gonna have the skills to get a job. They didn't work as hard as their parents, so they're gonna be dependent. So look into yourself if you're like that. Do your thing. I'm jealous, but it's not gonna be forever. Okay. The next thing think about is kind of like observe people how they're spending money and how much they're spending. One time I went to Starbucks and I just got like two things and it was like $12. I was like, God damn it, is this what normal people do? I don't know. And then watch your emotions and how they are basically like influencing your decisions, right? This one I still got to work on because it's hard. Like, as somebody who loves cars, every single time I get hit with, I want this car, I want this car. And then a week passes by, I forget about the car. But then a new one comes, and I want that car. And I'm like, yo, this is cheaper, this is more, I can afford it, if I trade my car in, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of that. But I'm watching myself, I'm being careful. I'm like, okay, yes, I really want this car. Do I need it right now? No. Is this really the best time for me? No. If yes, then, boom, we're going out with all the boys. So, yeah, keep in mind those things. I'm gonna stay here for a second if you guys have any questions. I see there's 5 people in the chat, so if you guys have any questions, let me know. I try to keep it short. Kind of helps with not having physical people here, but I'm gonna wait for a couple questions. For a savings account, well, actually, there's kind of like two types of savings accounts. There's a savings account, and then there's a high yield savings account. I recommend high yield savings accounts, and that's because it's kind of in their name. They give you a higher return. A lot of banks, like Chase Bank, they give you like basically nothing for whatever you have in your savings, right? But something like Capital One high yield savings account, or there's a thing for Citizens Access high yield savings account. Those give you like 4% APY. It depends on how the economy is doing and like the federal rates tied to that. But basically, I would recommend like Capital One, American Express high yield savings account. Anything with high yield savings account, go for it. One thing I will mention to think about before you go to like the highest one is look if they are this thing called FDIC insured. I'll write it down. Uh, FDIC. Basically, just make sure if that bank goes under the water, your money is still good. And the second thing to look at is maybe if you care, location. I know for me, I want access to my funds, so I have it through Capital One because if I ever need to, I can just transfer the money, and if I need the cash, I can do it right away. With an online bank, it might be a little bit different because it'll take a couple of days for it to transfer to one of your other checking accounts and to withdraw and everything like that. So just be mindful for that. Okay, next question is what investments do you recommend making at our age? So our age, I'm assuming you're between 18 and 20, before 30, 18 and 30, okay? Actually, maybe a little bit before 30, 28. So what I honestly recommend is if for two different types of people. One, if you care about investing, and one, if you're just kind of like, it's important, but you want to set it to forget it. I'm more into that set it and forget it type of person. So I put it in this thing called index funds, which I'll talk more about. But basically, they're kind of like for long term. You're investing in the entire stock market and betting that over time, over a long period of time, your money will grow and it'll be stable. But I also am not against people taking their money and just putting it in something risky. Like personally, I don't think crypto is an investment. I think it's more like gambling. But then I could say the same thing about any other stock that's kind of like any company who is making this on a whatever something's hyping right now, and its stock evaluation rises like crazy, you know. So, but I do recommend that because you know you can have some fun, especially if you know the less responsibilities you have with your life. If you don't have a wife, kids, uh, if you don't depend on all your money, go have some fun with it. Why not, right? But for regular people, what I recommend for 100% of regular people, just invest in something like this thing called S&P 500, right? Let me see. I don't even know if I could. Can you guys even see? I'll write it down here big. I don't know how to put the and sign, so you'll have to laugh at it. S&P 500, right? This basically you're investing in the whole stock market. You're investing with everybody else, and you're betting that your money is gonna be good in the future. What should okay? Last question is what should be savings, needs, wants, splits? Oh, you want the split for that, dude? Honestly, you have to figure that out because I'll give you an example for me, right? Let me erase some of this stuff. This eraser is like broken. Look, I didn't break it by the way, but somebody did. So I told you I'm a car guy, right? 21. I don't have I don't have to worry about any payments, nothing, right? So if I make whatever income, you know, people usually say, oh, only put 10% of your earned income into a car. Don't buy a car out of your reach. No, I'm not doing that. I'm putting, like, if I want this dream car, you know, I'm not going to take all of my money, like 80% of it, but I'm not going to go 10%. I'm going to go 20%, right? That's double. So I'm gonna put, let's say, 20% on the car I want, right? So from 100%, right? For me, right? 20% would go to a car is a want and a need technically, but I would put for myself like 20% for a car. For me, for everybody else, put 10%. If you don't care about cars, if you just want to impress other people, do 10%. If you care about how the car drives, if you have passion for that, you can do 20, 30%. As long as, as long as you don't have other shit you gotta take care of, okay? If you gotta take care of like a house, a mortgage, right? Then that's obviously more important. If you gotta take care of a kid, then I hope that kid isn't living in that car. It would be cool, but it would not be good for the child, right? So, but I guess it's hard. It depends on age because a lot of young people they don't. I'm assuming a lot of people probably live with their parents for now, so they don't need to spend 50% on needs because rent isn't in there. But if rent is in there, then you know put it in. You need food, have like a baseline. Um, And then, you know, other wants like going out with your friends, you can do that as well. But the most important thing you can understand is that you need to, what I would do personally is have priorities, okay? So we'll say you gave me needs, wants, wants, split. So let's say, okay, from that $1,000, I told you, from that $1,000, I would put 200 towards investing, then another 200 towards savings. Then I'm left with 600. From that 600, I know I need for just for living right now 300 to go out to eat, to buy groceries. I mean, buy toiletries, whatever I need. Let's say gas, and then the other 300, I'm good. I could spend it on whatever I want. I could, if I want to, I can put more into saving. And I have done that personally. I have put more. I've been very aggressive with investing. Um, so that's you got to figure it out on your own. Is the best answer. You know, I could give you 50% should go to say needs, 20% to investing, 30% to wants. Now, do what you want, but be smart about it. Okay, make sure it works for you. Guys, thank you very much for tuning into the live stream. You guys missed out on all the snacks I have. Like, damn, bro. Like, wait, let me see if I can. Hold on. Yeah, I'll give it. I'll give it to you through the camera. Catch. That's enough cringiness. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm gonna put my email if you need it, whatever. To text me, email me. I mean. But without that, thank you guys for watching again, and I'll see you in the next one. All right. Adios. How do I end this stream? End stream.